On Tuesday, May 20th, Six Flags Entertainment Corporation did an investor day. They had an entire day at Cedar Point with what I assume potential investors or whatever. They had Richard Zimmerman and a couple other people there to take questions and to give a breakdown of a whole spectrum of things. So what I did, I went through and watched the entire essentially 2-hour long video, and I took notes on what I feel is the most pertinent information that you guys and people more into the coaster enthusiast and park side of things, what you guys may be interested in. So I have some notes here. You can hear my paper crinkling right here. So I'm going to go over a few of these things and, if need be, give a quick thought about what I think about what they're talking about. Because some things are kind of straightforward and some things I read into, and if I read into incorrectly, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. You guys are more than welcome to leave a comment down below if you think that maybe I read into some things incorrectly. But either way, I'm giving my thoughts and what was said in this couple hour long presentation. So kicking things off, I'm just going to go straight down my notes in no particular order. Well, basically the order that they kind of talked about it. One thing that stood out to me, they said that they are going to be rolling out a new app by mid-July, which I feel is kind of strange.
We'll roll out a new version of our mobile app during the month of July.
Because I feel like the Cedar Fair parks just rolled out a new app not too long ago. So yeah, look for a new app by mid-July. One thing that would make coaster enthusiasts, which a lot of people that watch our channel are enthusiasts, very happy to hear, is that they acknowledge that thrill rides give the best ROI, so return on investment. Now, this doesn't mean, as I'll get into later on with some other things they said, this does not mean that they are not investing on anything else, no restaurants or anything like that, that they're only doing thrill rides. Nothing drives a quick attendance to a park more than adding thrill rides. Next is kind of something that you might say, well, duh about, but they're looking to add attendance in the large market parks. So one word that they kept using was penetration. So they're looking to get more people in the larger markets. Obviously, if you're at Six Flags Magic Mountain, you have millions of people all within like a few hour drive of the park. So you get 10% of the people into the park, that's good. If you get 40% of the people into the park, that's great. So they definitely, between New York City, Mexico City, Philadelphia, some of the larger markets in the country, they do have parks in that region and in that area, and maybe they aren't performing quite the way that they wish at the moment. So they are definitely going to be looking to get more bang for their buck. And I mean, I just assume investments, kind of what they pushed during a lot of the conference or presentation, was some sort of investment, whether it's thrill rides or food, beverage, stuff like that. So definitely look for any sort of park, Magic Mountain, Knott's Berry Farm, Dorney, Great Adventure. Look for all these parks to be aggressively spending, trying to up their attendance at those parks. Something that I kind of always suspected, but never knew an exact number, but season pass holders represent 60% of attendance at legacy Cedar Fair parks, now the whole Six Flags chain. Obviously, if you don't know much about business, companies like bringing in a surefire revenue. So obviously they would make more for a day ticket if someone came to the park 5 times and bought a day ticket each time. Obviously the park will make more money from that than if they spend $100 or whatever on a season pass. The season pass could be bought August the year before or whatever. Could be bought during the winter whenever a lot of the parks are closed. So that is revenue coming in. And they also stated how it drives attendance during less appealing days. So you might hear pass holders say, well, I'm a pass holder. I can go out when it's a little rainy or whatever. So what they're hoping is to get people through the gates, get people onto the rides, and of course, maybe spending a few bucks while you're in the park. One thing on the business side, they say that they're going to be really pushing the theme park value. They had a whole diagram of cost per hour. And if you go to a sporting event, go to a concert, go to a museum, you're spending $20, $30, $40 per hour or whatever. And they say that they're down around $8 per hour because you can come into the park and get 7, 8, 9 hours in a park. So they're really trying to push that value to people. And they say because of that, they bounce back quickly from recessions and pandemics like what happened in 2020 and 21. They say that they bounce back quickly and are kind of recession proof. Whenever people have limited dollars, they say that people look for the best bang for their buck, and that tends to be amusement parks. They also talked about a very aggressive strategy to bring in millions more guests over the next few years. So one thing that they talked about, the penetration of certain markets isn't anywhere near where it could be. So they're saying, hey, you know what? If we bring Magic Mountain's numbers close to Knott's Berry Farm's numbers, which I'll get into the discrepancy in those two parks. I believe I took note on that. But basically, Knott's Berry Farm, I think, does, they said something like double what Magic Mountain does. So if they can bring that even close to that level, they're like, okay, we can add 3 million guests to the chain just from that. And they bring up over Texas in Dallas, a very populated area, but doesn't do the attendance that Fiesta Texas does. So if they bring that up a little bit, so they talked about bringing millions more guests to the parks over the next few years. So they are definitely have some aggressive and optimistic goals here in the near future. So this next thing is something that I definitely was reading into, and I'm pretty sure I was reading into it correctly. But from the looks of, from what they're saying, it definitely looks like they will be removing more parks, but they definitely stress that they don't have to.
And then lastly, make sure that in those high growth parks, we're accelerating things as quickly as possible. When you think about the overall portfolio, the top 15 locations make up more than 80% of our attendance and our revenues. It's over 90% of the EBITDA. The remaining locations are valuable, great cash generators, strong, steady performance, but they're in smaller markets and don't have the same growth potential. So we're gonna look at whether or not there's an ability based on market conditions and based upon the value we can get, an ability to monetize some additional parks. But right now, we're really comfortable saying we're gonna operate all of our parks this season. Some of the smaller parks had some challenges last year. We think they'll perform really, really well. So if we are gonna monetize anything, we wanna make sure we get value for it.
They brought up Six Flags America and how it was, the real estate was just valuable and they were able to get rid of an underperforming park and use the sell the land, which was very valuable. So they did talk about some things that would definitely make you think that they will be removing some more parks. And also, it sounds like they're going to be looking to maybe sell a park or two. Obviously, America, they are just tearing down, and we did whole videos about what will happen to the rides or whatever. Go ahead and watch those. But it looks like, from what he was saying, is that they might be looking into actually selling some parks because they did bring up the fact that they wanted some of their more underperforming parks to have a very solid 2025, and that could help them in the future. So what I read into it is that they're going to, almost like if you watch sports and say football, and a team wants to trade a player, they might try to spotlight him and make sure if he's a receiver, try to get him some more throws his way or whatever. So it really looks like they might try to fixate on a couple smaller parks, get the attendance up so maybe it's more attractive to a buyer. Winding down here, the last few things really quickly. If you find this video at all informational or helpful or entertaining or whatever, please consider going down and subscribing. It definitely helps us out a ton whenever we drive higher and higher in that subscription count. And like the videos, comment down below. Those things by themselves help push these videos out. And while I'm at it, I'll give a shout out to all our channel members. So thank you to all you guys for helping out this channel so much. So now into the last few items that I took note of here. So I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier when I talked about thrill coasters, but family experience gives the best long-term growth. So that's kind of what I took out of it. They were saying that the thrill rides bring in the teens, the young adults, and really drives a lot of business that way. But the family experience, the expanded kids areas, the expanded food options, and more efficient food areas, those things bring in the moms, and they really focused on talking about the moms. And that's what a lot of marketing is focused on moms, because they're pretty much the decision makers of where a lot of the money goes to in households. So they brought up an example, I think in 2012, I can't remember the exact dates and everything, so forgive me, but around 2012, I believe, they started going through Knott's Berry Farm with a fine-tooth comb and expanded Camp Snoopy, and then started expanding on some of the food options. And from that point on, over the next 4 years, the growth skyrocketed. And as I said earlier, now they do double the attendance that Magic Mountain does. So if you've been to both of those parks, Knott's Berry Farm is a pleasant park to be in and to sit in, and has atmosphere. Magic Mountain is just kind of coaster. And I don't want to say soulless park, but it doesn't have that atmosphere that makes you want to hang out and spend your day at. It makes you feel like going from one ride to another and hitting all the roller coasters and thrill rides that they have. So yeah, they pointed out the family experience, hence why Carowinds this coming season has a family roller coaster and a family water ride and expanded kids area. Last year, Kings Island, that's what they did with Snoopy's Soapbox Racers, and doing an expansion and a whole addition to their kids area. We did a 5-year plan. Our home park is Cedar Point, and we did a whole 5-year plan, what we predict for them to do. And we really think that in their 5-year plan is a heavy addition to their kids area, their Camp Snoopy area. Go back in our videos and you can watch that. It wasn't that long ago, so you should be able to find it pretty easily. Let's see. Last but not least, and this is one thing that we actually talked about whenever the merger took place, and said that this was a possibility, and now it looks like, I don't know about 26, I don't know when, but they are definitely looking into adding a regional pass. So they might do something like Carowinds, King's Dominion, just in that area. They might do, I don't know, Knott's Berry Farm, Magic Mountain, Discovery Kingdom. So look for a lot more pass options in the future. Like I said, they didn't specify if this is going to be a 2026 edition or whatever, or if they'll have to do more work and really get something like that out in the future, but it is definitely, according to them, coming. So, I mean, I think they will still have the all park passport. Unfortunately, I could see prices for all park passport going up. This year, the first year that it was available where it was good for all parks in the Six Flags chain, it was actually very affordable. Even more affordable than in the past. I would definitely look at the price. I mean, I don't think skyrocketing, but maybe scooting up a little bit and then leaving some middle ground room to add, okay, I bought a season pass for Knott's Berry Farm. For an extra $50, I can add Magic Mountain Discovery Kingdom. I don't know. I mean, they didn't specify any prices or anything like that. All they did was say that they will definitely look into adding a regional pass. So that is it. I didn't cover a lot of like financial stuff that they talked about because I felt like that would be boring to most people. So I kind of focused on stuff, like I said, that would be more roller coaster enthusiast related, amusement park enthusiast related. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And like I said earlier, give it a thumbs up and comment and all that stuff if you enjoyed it. So that is it for this video. Signing off. See you guys next time right here from Beach Cliff Studios.